What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum, and I recently went on another autograph outing in Orlando to try and get Pacers autographs. There's a good chance if you're watching this, you watched my previous Orlando recap back in March of 2022. And I had Mrs. Wax Museum with me at that time, so she was able to take some cool videos of all the players signing for me. Well, this time I took one of my friends, and I asked him, hey, at least get video of Haliburton signing for me. What I got instead was a still shot of me getting Oshae Brissett. So visually, this recap won't look quite the same, but I am going to show you some footage of some cards that I got signed at the end, and then, of course, some sights and sounds along the way. Real quick, though, I want to go over some of the logistics of the outing because I usually get a lot of questions about that in the comments. So for Orlando, if possible, I try to get there 90 minutes early. I know gates only open 60 minutes early, but the entrance I use is in the Geico garage, and they make you line up in there, and it's kind of a pain. So just get a good spot in line and get in quick. And then I always buy a ticket in section 103 because that's where the visiting team tunnel is, and it's really easy to get there from the garage entrance. You just go in and you turn right. And recently I've found that the ushers are checking tickets more so now, and it's a little easier to stay down there in that area if you have a ticket in the section. So this time mine was in row 10, and I was still told that I might have to move if someone from closer down showed up to their seats, but thankfully they did not. So another reason I like this section, and I know this is kind of weird, but it's because I'm trying to get on a basketball card someday. So yeah, that's something I'm trying. And I wear all gold, so it's a little easier to spot me. And as you can see, I go back after the game and I look on Getty Images. So I made it into these shots of TJ McConnell and Gary Harris. I doubt Gary Harris gets many more cards, but McConnell has been a good signer for Panini, and they like those generic dribbling shots. So it's a long shot, but fingers crossed. I'll be watching more towards the end of the release calendar this year to see if that TJ McConnell photo shows up. Now, one more thing before I show you the cards I got signed. My experience with here and another city in the past is that the team takes 2 or 3 different buses from the hotel. And if I remember right, I think announcers, rookies, and big men were usually on the first one. They warmed up the earliest in the arena. So oftentimes by the time gates open, they've already gone into the locker room and you miss out on them. So there might be some willing signers there, but you don't have access to them. And then after that, the next bus or two includes everyone else, and those are the guys you're more likely to see about 40 to 45 minutes before tip-off. Okay, so let's see what I actually got signed here. As you can see, I went with the usual binder and clipboard setup. I have the clipboard in case I have to drop it a little bit lower and reach a little bit further, but in this case, I was close enough to just hand the binder to the players. I took blue Sharpies. That's always my go-to. Not everything got signed in blue, as you'll see, but at least I give it an honest try with the blues because I think that pops a lot better on the card. But let's go ahead and look at what I got. And these first two here I had to pull from the back pages of the book because I didn't have them set up in these pages here, but assistant coach Gennaro Pargo took his time, signed a couple cards real nice for me, a couple older Topps Total cards. So any day you get a Topps Total card signed is a good day. I love that set. As for this page here, the only guy, let's see, so I saw Goga, and Goga was the only guy that ran by and didn't sign. So if I didn't get something signed, like for instance, I didn't get Rick Carlisle signed, but I never saw him because he had already gone into the locker room, or in the player's case, they had already warmed up. So Goga was the only one that just outright ran by and didn't sign for the 3 of us that were there trying. But Oshae Brissett did sign, so I got this Prism Parallel signed from him, and then also this new Hoops card. As far as the Prism Parallel, I asked him, I said, do you remember that game? Because it was in Tampa, and I said, hey, you scored 31. He's like, oh, yeah. And then I don't even think he recognized this Hoops card, because at first he didn't sign it, and then I said, hey, that's you as well. Can you sign that one? So he was happy to sign both of those for me, so thank you, Oshae Brissett. Very generous. Chris Duarte, I got him last year. He was generous again. He signed this one for me. Kind of this acetate. I think it's a Court Kings acetate. So I thought that looked pretty cool, getting that signed. That was something different. And then we get to some of the black Sharpie autographs. The guy in front of me had a random towel he was getting signed in black Sharpie. That's just part of it. You can't really control that. But I thought this Illusions card might look good signed by Buddy. And he gave me a pretty quick rush signature, but last time I didn't even get him, so I was happy to get it. Then he just kind of dropped the pin down. So that's why James Johnson has some ink here. I didn't actually get James Johnson. And then the big one here, who's, I felt pretty good about that I would get his because I have previously. He's generally always a nice one per. Tyrese Halliburton, pretty nice guy. So it's showing up easier in this video because I have the light on it. It is kind of hard to see that on the card. I was hoping to get it in blue. I was hoping that would pop a little bit. The reason I chose that card is because I was at that game, so there's some rationale that goes into that. Otherwise, this one probably would have shown up a lot better on that card there. But either way, I'm happy to get Halliburton. He's our star. He's my favorite player right now, so always nice to get him. And let's see here. So as you can see, I didn't get Benedict because I didn't see him. And same thing with Nembhard. And I wanted to give him, I had another one of these cards for him. These are the Timeless Moments customs that I made. But didn't see either one of those guys, so I couldn't get them. I did see Aaron Nesmith, though. He was nice enough to sign these two for me. So I have his Optic Holo rookie and then his brand new Hoops card, which unfortunately he's pictured as a Celtic. But he is, it does have that Pacers logo at least. So I got Nesmith there as well. And then didn't get any other guys. Usually I do see Miles Turner. If I would have seen him, he's always been one per for me. Miles has always been very generous. So it's just a matter of, can you get to these guys or not? So overall, I'm pretty satisfied, though, with this amount at an NBA game. You can't be too picky. So like I said, that's one player, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6. So very happy with that. So I hope you enjoyed that recap. As always, remember there are new episodes of the audio podcast that come out every Thursday. And thanks for watching.